warmly welcome all of you who have gathered here to celebrate Above and Beyond, the book that traces the bumpy yet fulfilling journey of Medha's life. As her father, I can only echo Jerry Newport words, quote, "And I know of nobody who is purely autistic or purely neurotypical. Even God has some autistic moments, which is why the planet spins," unquote. We have had our good days and not so good days, but the underlying fount of energy for us was that Medha was our daughter. She deserved every bit of respect as any other child. Worrying never gets anything done. When we have a problem, it is best to concentrate on the solution to the problem rather than on the problem itself. Allow me to introduce you to the MC for the evening, Ms. Nivedita. Preeti is a qualified special educator and has nearly 30 years experience working with children of different abilities. To us, she has been a dear friend for more than 2 decades now, and her daughter and Medha are also close friends, having spent 14 years together at school. Preeti, please take on from here.
Thank you, Tilak. Good evening. A very warm welcome to friends and family of the Senguptas who have gathered here to celebrate this very special day of theirs. This evening belongs to Nivedita and Medha, the awe-inspiring mother-daughter duo. As they say, a mother is born every time a child is born. Every mother tries to do her very best for her child, but what Nivedita continues to do is much more than any one of us. As I always tell her, she is blessed to have Medha, and Medha is blessed to have her. We are here today to celebrate Nivedita's book, Above and Beyond, a book that started as a blog during the COVID years and today has taken the shape of a tale of her mother's faith, her tremendous hard work, and above all, unconditional love that can make anything possible. It is a book about Medha and Nivedita's personal journey, which is quite extraordinary to say the least. But more on that in a little while. Our young Medha is the kindest, sweetest, and most honest young woman who her parents and her brother are immensely proud of. They have been the biggest advocates of how Medha has dealt with her hardships, her struggles, and sometimes feelings of helplessness. Does this sound familiar? Yes. We all experience these emotions, something or the other in our life. But in Medha's case, her share exceeded many of ours, as she faces challenges because she is on the autism spectrum. Her parents often wish that more people would see the world the way Medha does. Then the world would surely be a kinder and happier place to be in. Let's take a small peek into Medha's life so far. Can we have the presentation, please? Many of you, I think, are going to take this inspiration home with you in your hearts. While her goal was to mainstream Medha's life as much as possible, many a times it took a toll on Nivedita, the woman, the mother, the daughter, the wife, the teacher. Dr. Amit Sen and Dr. Shailja Sen, usually respected figures in the field of child and adolescent mental health and family therapy, guided Nivedita, supported her, and have been her sounding board on her days that she was in doubt. When she felt lonely and nervous, it was their advice that kept her faith going. As Dr. Amit Sen writes in the foreword of this book, and I quote, "I have known Medha for the last 15 years, and I can claim that I have been a part of her exceptional journey some of the time. I feel privileged for this." Medha started coming to see me when she was 13 years old. Accompanying her always was her feisty mother Nivedita, who was proud of her wonderful daughter and had at the same time numerous worries and questions to ask me, which often put me in a spot. In the early days, I would wonder how long this enthusiasm would last, because I had seen many parents lose hope, or at least mellow down, once they realized that all their effort would only produce modest changes. It was with time that I realized that Medha's mother had already accepted her condition, embraced it, and was willing to walk many an extra mile with Medha. Nivedita was willing to stand up to the judgmental gaze of people and unwilling to allow the constricted understanding of disability in our society to define Medha. She was ready to dig deep and make their own path when none was available. Unquote. Above and Beyond is as much about Medha as it is about Nivedita. So this evening will be incomplete if we do not hear Medha herself. And who best to have a conversation with but her best friend, her mother. I would like to invite Medha and Nivedita to have a small conversation before the gathering.
So Medha, how are you feeling?
Fine.
Fine. How do you? Everyone is here for what?
Interview.
Not interview. Here for which occasion? Which event is going on?
Book release.
Okay. And where are we? Where have we come?
Oxford Bookstore.
Yes, and for your book release. And this book is about?
Autism.
And what is autism?
Autism is communication disorder.
And what is communication? Communication is?
Together.
No, talking to each other, understanding. And who has autism?
Meta.
Medha has autism. So Medha, do you have difficulty in communication, talking, understanding?
No.
You don't have?
No.
Okay. So autism तो हुआ, बहुत कुछ हो गया. Now tell me, what are you very good at?
Swimming, reading, typing.
You're good at swimming, reading, typing. Okay. And because you know so much, you can do so many things so well. You're working somewhere, right? Where are you working?
Signata School.
And which department of Shivnanda School?
Library assistant.
You're working as a library assistant, yes. And what are the different things that you do there?
Andres needs due dates needs stop taking.
Stock taking, entries, due date slips. Okay. And for doing so much of work, what do you get in return?
Salary.
Salary. And with that salary money, what do you do?
Money.
With the money, what do you buy?
Soap tea.
You buy soap and deo. Good. Happy with soap and deo. That's very good. You buy one snack also every day, right? Okay. In family, what do you like to do with your brother?
Talking.
Okay. And what do you learn from your nanny?
Snooker.
Would you like to recite some shloka slowly for everyone? Okay.
Om Savadaman Paritechu Mamekan Sanan Pacha Amdan Savpabepi Mukche Sami Matucha Yata Itamasa Nani Pavadi Bharata Aputana Madamasa Tutagmanam Kichamaan Puritanayo Sadunam Pinasayo Chaduskidam Dhammasanstapanatayo Sambhavami Yogi Yogi Subham Astu Namaskara.
Thank you so much. That is so nice. Everyone is so happy to hear that. Now to welcome everyone, they are liking it, right? So to welcome everyone, will you sing 2 lines of a Bengali song?
Aita pesa ochori ate dori dori na chepi kiri kiri ka ipikan ando pepina ando pepina sabda masuri pada petan.
Very, very nice. Very nice. Now, you know what? You've heard the word inclusion. Every time we are talking about inclusion, and you know today is the World Disability Day, right? And we are all talking about inclusion. What is inclusion?
Inclusion is together.
Yes, being together. So Medha, you said Medha has autism. None of us have autism, but we are together. So that is called inclusion. Okay. Now, do you want to teach them by using sign language that we will all pledge inclusion? How? I pledge. Can we all do it? I pledge inclusion. So everyone is going to be together. Autism, no autism, everyone is going to be together, right? Now tell me, many times Medha worries that is Mama going to school tomorrow? Medha worries, where are we going on a holiday? What will I have for lunch and dinner? So what Mama tells you? Please, let's not worry about anything. Whatever is going to happen, right? So, which song is that which tells us we don't have to worry, whatever will happen? Nicely sing the song, no? 1, 2, 3, start.
When I was just a little girl, I asked my mother, what will I be? Will I be pretty? Will I be rich? That's what she said to me. Que Sarah, Sarah, whatever will be, will be. The future's not ours to see. Que Sarah, Sarah, whatever will be, will be.
Thank you. Thank you everyone. Will you show them how do you say thank you in sign language?
Thank you.
Yes, that is so we'll do what? We will say I pledge inclusion once again and we'll say thank you, okay? I pledge inclusion, thank you.
Would anyone like to ask any questions?
If they ask you any question, we'll answer.
Thank you, Medha. Okay, I'm sorry.
Medha, what is your favorite food?
Prawn.
जोर से बोलो.
Prawn.
Oh wow, thank you.
And for your information, prawn is now because we've been visiting Mokambo and Trinka. So right now we are getting a lot of prawns. So she, on the safe side, she's saying prawn so that she can get a prawn for dinner. Yes. So, but prawn as of now. Thank you. Some other question?
Yeah, can I ask?
Yes, please.
Medha, today being here in the event, I'm actually feeling on top of the world. I'm so happy to be here. How are you feeling?
Fine.
You want to sing the song Top of the World?
Yes.
Sing.
Such a feeling's coming over me. There is wonder in most everything I see. Not a cloud in the sky, got the sun in my eyes. Dance that one with the best thing to see.
Top of the World. She used to sing this song. Thank you.
As our chief guest today, Ms Sanghamitra Ghosh, who is an Indian Administrative Services Officer of the 1997 batch. She belongs to the West Bengal cadre. She has served in various capacities, including as district magistrates of various districts, and has served as the mission director of the National Health Mission in the state of West Bengal. Her tenure saw an immense growth in the health infrastructure and services in the field of maternal and child health. She also served as the Vice Chairperson of the West Bengal Clinical Establishments Regulatory Commission. Currently, she is the Principal Secretary, Women and Child Development and Social Welfare Department, Government of West Bengal. Her focus has always been to streamline development work towards the protection, equity and inclusion of populations that have been historically oppressed, neglected or excluded from development based on their gender, age, disability or situation. You are indeed an inspiration for us and many others, ma'am. May I request you, ma'am, to share with the audience your views on the need for inclusion across the board and how you feel Nivedita's journey has contributed to it, albeit on an individual level.
Namaskar, good evening everyone. I'm sorry I started this off a little late. So I know how irritating it is to, wait on a Saturday evening. I'm sure আমাদের সবারই বাড়ি গিয়ে অনেক কাজ আছে. But I feel truly privileged and fortunate and lucky যে আমি আজকে এই দিনে এই পরিবারের সঙ্গে এবং তাদের বন্ধুবর্গদের সঙ্গে থাকতে পারছি কয়েক মুহূর্তের জন্য. So this is really a unique opportunity for us. I'm our senior colleague ডক্টর সুব্রত গুপ্ত যখন আমাকে অফার দিলেন যে would you like to release this book, yes, there was no way I could have said no. And to confess, this is the first time I'm doing anything like this. So yes, I am nervous, but I don't have a prepared speech, and I don't think it is necessary because that the book was so very compelling, so very compelling. আপনারা সবাই পড়েছেন মনে হয় বইটি, সবাই পড়েছেন, or না পড়লেও maybe Nivedita's blogs. I really don't know her, but after reading the book, it's so much. It tells so much about the lady who is behind Medha. মা হিসেবে আমরা সবাই বাচ্চাদের বড় করার সময় অনেক চ্যালেঞ্জেস ফেস করি, and for every mother it is a joy of discovery every day. Challenges, yes, কারো বেশি কারো কম, নিবেদিতার অনেকটাই বেশি. And when you read the book, you relate to it at so many levels. And আমি মা হিসেবে I related to it. I understand যে যখন নিবেদিতা বলছেন যে মেধা she loves to eat, right? She enjoys her food. এই সময় given her medical condition একটু যে ডায়েট কন্ট্রোল করার দরকার সেটা মা হিসেবে বুঝতে পারছেন নিবেদিতা, আমরাও বুঝতে পারছি, কিন্তু বাচ্চাদের বেশি করে খাওয়াতে কোন মা না ভালোবাসে, রাইট? সো বাচ্চাদের আমরা ঠুসে ঠুসেই খাওয়াই, বাঙালি মারা ঠুসে ঠুসেই খাওয়াই। সো কিন্তু তারই মধ্যে বোঝানো যে কেন ডায়েট কন্ট্রোল করতে হবে, that is, you know, it's funny, it is heart-rending, and we've all gone through it. We have seen যে নিবেদিতা বিভিন্ন যে চ্যালেঞ্জেস ফেস করেছেন in her daughter's journey, of which, you know, she is such an integral part. She herself is a very special mother. সবাই কিন্তু, you know, digging deep into their own resources, এতটা স্ট্রেংথ হয়তো পাওয়াটা আমরা সবাই পারবো না. I don't think a lot of us can claim যে এটা যে কনস্ট্যান্ট এনার্জি, কনস্ট্যান্ট লেগে থাকা, কনস্ট্যান্ট পজিটিভিটি, it takes a lot of toll on you, lots of toll. এবং তার মধ্যে নিজেকে ঠিক রাখা, আন্ডারস্ট্যান্ডিং যে আমি নিজে ঠিক না থাকলে আমার পরিবার এবং আমার উপর যারা ডিপেন্ডেন্ট তাদের আমি ঠিক রাখতে পারবো না. It's a huge responsibility. The amount of time and effort one has to put in, she has put into research. আমরা তো একটা ছোট্ট ভেকেশনে যেতে গেলে একটু যে কোন জায়গায় বেড়াতে যাব তার একটু পড়াশোনা করে নেব, ওইটুকু করতেই, you know, in our daily life that is such an effort. কিন্তু এটা কনস্ট্যান্টলি চেষ্টা করে, এবং this journey started 3 decades ago, right? তখনও আমরা অটিজম সম্বন্ধে জানতাম না, এত ইনফরমেশন ছিল না, এখনো যে খুব বেশি ইনফরমেশন আছে তা নয়, কিন্তু যেখানে যাওয়ার, she's been to, you know, all parts of the country trying to interact with people who are experts in autism to try and understand and help her daughter a little more. সবটা সময় কিন্তু মেয়ের জন্য, সবটা সময় কিন্তু পরিবারের জন্য, এবং it's not as if Medha is an only child. And I also felt that given the fact that, you know, so much time needs to be devoted to her daughter, the decision to have another child is also a very courageous decision, এইগুলো আমরা মানে the way Nivedita has written the book, it's এগুলো কিন্তু আমরা খুব ফিল করতে পারি, you know, what how she arrived at this, how she felt going through it. একটা জিনিস যেটা ভালো লাগলো যে you know, a lot of us with special children, yes, we know, you know, the others look at us with curious eyes, not always very understanding eyes. কিন্তু ধরুন যেরকম নিবেদিতা বলছেন বইয়ে যে একদিন মলে গিয়ে হয়তো বা কোথাও কেউ হেসেছেন, অনেকেই হয়তো আমরা মা বাবা হিসেবে ওখান থেকে সরে আসতাম, কিছু বলতাম না যারা এরকম ইনসেনসিটিভ বিহেভিয়ার করছেন, but she still finds it in herself to go up to those persons and tell them That this is something that hurts us. It's so important. নিজের তো এতগুলো চ্যালেঞ্জেস সারাক্ষণই আমাকে একটা effort দিয়ে যেতে হচ্ছে এরও মধ্যে to try and understand that yes, the other people also need to be sensitized and to make that effort to sensitize them. এটা কিন্তু সবাই করে না সবাই ভাবে যে আমার নিজের অনেক সমস্যা আছে আবার অন্যদের নিয়ে কেন করা কিন্তু করেছে. That's important. Even if all of us can change the mindset of one person, that in itself is an achievement. That is necessary. এবং to find it in you যে ঠিক আছে আজকে আমার গণ্ডি থেকে বেরিয়ে আমি আরেকজনকে reach out করে try and convert that person, maybe make that person a little kinder. This is these little drops go to make this world a better place for, so that all of us ঈশ্বর যে এত রকম লোকের ক্রিয়েশন করেছেন সবাই যেন আনন্দে থাকতে পারে. এটাও ঠিক যে সব সময় যুদ্ধ করা যায় না, কিছু কিছু সময় যুদ্ধ থেকে পেছিয়েও আসা যায়. I appreciated the instance where she was talking about the NIOS official who said that who was maybe trying to get an advantage out of the situation, and সেখান থেকে যে সরে আসা. You really can't do everything together. You need to know your limitations, and knowing your limitation is a strength. সব সময় মনে করব যে না আমি I can push boundaries. No, not always. You need to know when you can change the world. You need to know when you can't change the world, and you need to have the the intelligence to understand the difference between the two. So that what I'm trying to say is that the way she has chosen to put the things which matter in the book, it's not as if it's not a narrative, it's not a plain narrative of her entire experience. She has highlighted the things which need to be highlighted. For example, the need of her own need to stay well. নিজেকে ভালো রাখতে হবে, conscious হতে হবে যে না this is I'm not going through a good phase right now. I need to ask for help. আমি এখন এটা করতে পারছি না. I need to turn to my mother or to my spouse or to my son or to my friends, to the entire support system that I have built up. And yes, there is a huge support system that she has built up. এবং that's another achievement. এই support system কিন্তু নিজে নিজে তৈরি হয় না. That's a lot of investment of time and effort. Others come up to help you only when you go out to help them, right? সব সময় একতরফা আমি সাহায্য চাইবো সেরকম করে হয় না. So it is a two-way traffic, and she has been able to do that, which is so very important in the journey of her daughter. এবং এত সবের মধ্যেও যেটা প্রথমেই বললাম যে নিজের জন্য সময় বের করে নেওয়া দরকার. আমার আরেকটি সন্তান আছে, তার জন্য সময় বের করে নেওয়া দরকার. আমার স্পাউস আছে, তার জন্য সময় বের করে নেওয়া দরকার. Because the family itself is the source of strength, the core source of strength for Megha here. So throughout, what comes through very strongly is Nivedita's courage, her stamina, unflagging stamina. এটা কিন্তু সব সময় মানে we feel tired all the time, at the end of the day's work, when we come back and the children start babbling. আমাদেরই এক কলিগের একটা ইনসিডেন্ট ছিল যে she had two little sons. এবার মা সারাদিন কাজে থাকে, বাচ্চারা যখনই ফিরে আসে, the moment the mother crosses the threshold, the sons everything they have done in the day মাকে তক্ষুনি বলতে হবে. How children are, তক্ষুনি নিজেদের মধ্যে, and পিঠোপিঠি ভাই ছিল, তক্ষুনি নিজেদের মধ্যে যত খুনসুটি ঝগড়া সব মায়ের সামনে. এবার মা naturally back from a hard day's work, so one day she just snapped. She said যে তোমরা জানো যে আমার সারাদিন কিভাবে দিনটা গেছে? আমি আসার সঙ্গে সঙ্গে তোমরা যদি এরকম ঝগড়া চেঁচামেচি শুরু করে দাও তাহলে আমার কি রকম লাগে? Have you thought of it? Two little boys. তো she is telling her son যে এসে at least মাকে এক গ্লাস জল তো দেবে, মা ফিরেছে তারপরে আমি জলটা খেয়ে বসলে তখন বলো. So the next day when she comes home, বাচ্চারা দরজা খুলেছে, একজন দরজা খুলেছে আরেকজনের হাতে জলের গ্লাস. মা pleasantly surprised, মা জলটা খেয়েছে, জলটা খেয়ে আর গ্লাস রাখার টাইম নেই, আবার জেকে সেই শুরু, right? So the thing is that you told us to get a glass of water, we did it, you drank it, now listen to us. So my moms really don't have a moment off. এর মধ্যে সবসময় হাসি মুখে বাচ্চাদের ডিল করা এবং সবসময় তাদের মানসিক স্থিতিটা বুঝে তাদের ঠিক ঠিক লেসন্সটা দেওয়া, সবসময় কিন্তু বাচ্চাদের বোঝানো is the toughest job in the proper spirit, but she has been able to do it. She has been able to do it. And it's not as if the journey is over, মেয়ে সব শিখে গেছে. No, this is going to go on and on and on and on. So and the thing that comes through very beautifully in the book is that the rewards of the journey are along the way. We are not really trying to reach somewhere. It's not as if আমি এইটা achieve করবো, এইটা achieve করবো, এইটা achieve করবো, তা কিন্তু নয়. There are if you have those expectations, yes, targets are important, it keeps you motivated, কিন্তু along the way যা হলো, যাটুকু ভালো হলো সেটা নিয়েই সেলিব্রেট করা, সেটাকেই অ্যাপ্রিশিয়েট করা, that comes through so very strongly, and that is something which is beyond autism, beyond special abilities. It is about all of us. আমরা সবাই কেউ আলবার্ট আইনস্টাইন হয়ে নোবেল প্রাইজ তো জিতবো না, but all of us here everywhere are on a spectrum, really are on a spectrum. So and that needs to be understood. আজকালকার দিনে যখন এত প্রেশারস আছে বাচ্চাদের উপর, তখন you need to deal with them very sensitively. ওরকম হতে হবে, ওরকম হতে হবে, that is where you need to go. This is just not done. A child is a blessing, and the fact that we have been chosen by God to be parents is a blessing, and we need to be aware and conscious of that all the time. And that is what I think the spirit of the book is. Ebong that Nivedita had the courage, the resilience, and once again I'll say she found it in herself to eto kaj samleo eto sundor ekta boi lekha, that সেটাই আমাকে মুগ্ধ করেছে। এবং বইটিতে আমাদের সবার জন্য অনেক কিছু পাওয়ার আছে, অনেক কিছু পাওয়ার আছে। It's a very personal account of course, but it's also very very to use a very common word, it resonates. It's a page turner. আমি কিন্তু মানে 3 দিনে I finished reading the book, right? I do try to put in 15-20 minutes of reading at the end of the day, every night, and yes, it's a page turner. It's a very very compelling account, and I hope there will be many more from Nivedita's pen. And আরেকটা যেটা বলার, কেন যখন সুব্রত স্যার আমাকে বললেন যে এই বইটি কথা, আমরা যে দপ্তরে কাজ করি, the social welfare department, it's the women and child development and social welfare department. এখানে অনেক রকম প্রান্তিক মানুষদের নিয়ে কাজ হয়, এবং তার মধ্যে of course persons with disabilities, geriatrics, senior citizens, তাদের নিয়ে আমরা কাজ করি, destitute women নিয়ে আমরা কাজ করি, এবং strongly যেটা সবসময় মনে হয় that to make this place much more, make this world much more accessible and inclusive, যেটা আমরা sign language at least আমি আজকে শিখলাম, there's so much that we need to do, so much more that we need to do. If you look at it from the engineering point of view, from the smallest infrastructure point of view, which is very very prosaic, এই যে আমাদের বিল্ডিংস, আমরা এই যে উপরে এলাম, এখানে সিঁড়ি বেয়েই আসতে হলো, right? Not all buildings will have elevators, not all two-story buildings will have elevators. What happens to persons who cannot climb stairs? Do we even think about it? Are we thinking when we are building a space, we are building paths, we are building roads, we are making pavements, are we thinking of people who may not be in a position to negotiate it? আমি আজকে এখানে দাঁড়িয়ে আছি, I can just walk down the stairs and break my leg slipping down the stairs, and I will be wheelchair bound for 2 months, and what will happen to me then? তখন আমি কিভাবে যাতায়াত করব if I am the same engineer who built this space, right? So yes, the the civic infrastructure needs to improve. We need to have places, spaces where people with special abilities can move without seeking anyone else's help. Be independently move. সেটা আমরা কতটা করতে পেরেছি? আমরা কি বাসে ট্রামে চলতে পারি without others help? No, we really can't. এখানে অনেক অনেক কাজ করার আছে। সবথেকে বেশি কিন্তু কাজ করার আছে attitudes এ। This is not about simply brick and mortar things. It is about changing attitudes. That is not going to happen overnight, and that is where books like this, people like Nivedita continue to you need to keep chipping away. Ajke today is the International Day for Persons with Disabilities. আমাদের ডিপার্টমেন্ট থেকে প্রোগ্রাম অনুষ্ঠিত হয়, কভারেজ হয়, সবই হয়। আমরা স্পেশালি এখানে যেহেতু we are speaking about an autistic family member, autism নিয়ে আমরা আমাদের দপ্তর থেকে যে কাজটা করছি এক্ষুনি, our department is a very low key difficult department to work with. There's no big dhamaka, but you need to constantly be at it, because we are looking at behavioral change, we are looking at helping very vulnerable people. So it's not glamorous work, but it is so critical. এবং আমরা একটা অটিজম নিয়ে যে কাজটা করছি, আমি আপনাদের সামনে এই জন্যই বলতে চাইছি, because very few people are in positions of strength like Nivedita is. She has been able to help Medha because she herself is so strong. She's had a strong support group. আমাদের কিন্তু 99% of the population এই সাপোর্ট কিন্তু নেই। আমরা আমাদের দপ্তরে আমরা মহিলা ও শিশুদের নিয়ে কাজ করি। প্রত্যন্ত গ্রামে আমাদের একটি করে অঙ্গনওয়াড়ি সেন্টার আছে। আমি জানি না আপনারা অঙ্গনওয়াড়ি সেন্টারের নাম এটা শুনেছেন কিনা। It's a tiny place where for every 1000 population we have this preschool kind of a place where pregnant mothers and lactating mothers with small children who are feeding kids, they come, and small kids একদম 6 বছর বয়স পর্যন্ত বাচ্চারা আসে, ওখানে খাবার খায়। It started off as a nutrition initiative. It has also started off as it's evolved into a nutrition initiative for the mind. So it's not only about developing the body with some good food, but also about developing the mind. বাচ্চাদের preschool education এর জন্য arrange করা হয় এইখানে, because we are dealing with such small kids, and now we know that autism joto taratari, not only autism, any other kind of developmental delay joto taratari detect kora hobe toto taratari intervention kora jabe, ebong intervention korle a lot of correction is possible. এই জন্য আমরা এখন চেষ্টা করছি, in our 1,20,000 we have 1,20,000 Anganwadi centers serving our 10 crore population. এদেরকে এখানে যে সার্ভিস প্রোভাইডার্সরা আছেন, the Anganwadi workers, তাদেরকে ট্রেন করা to detect for the children who come into them. These are all 0 to 6 year olds. তো এই সময় তাদের মধ্যে the behavioral attitudes খুব ক্লোজলি অবজার্ভ করে বা মায়েদের সঙ্গে কথা বলে, because মায়েরা বাচ্চাদের সারাক্ষণ দেখছে, মায়েদের কনসিয়াস করে whether the child is displaying any of the signs on the spectrum. So this is something that we have started to do. What we feel very strongly এতগুলো কাজ করার মধ্যে is what I think I'm sure Nivedita has felt very strongly too, that the lack of caregivers, mental health sphere বা even special needs sphere, caregiving is so critical. All of us need good caregivers. কিন্তু এই caregivers we do not have enough academic courses to produce good caregivers. We don't have training institutes. এইটা আমাদের দেশে কিন্তু সত্যিই একটা বড় গ্যাপ, and with an aging population, নিবেদিতা বলেছিলেন, আমরা যখন কথা বলছিলাম যে মেবি আজকাল অটিজম বেশি হচ্ছে, আজকাল হয়তো অটিজম বেশি হচ্ছে কিনা we really don't know. Maybe we are detecting more, right? So ঠিক আছে, that's a good thing, কিন্তু ডিটেকশন করে যদি অ্যাকশন না নিতে পারি তাহলে ডিটেকশন করে কি হবে? So and correction করতে গেলে কিন্তু we need dedicated caregivers. Very few mothers will be, able to give so much resource, so much time, so much effort, because Nivedita is an exceptional lady. Not all mothers can be in a position to be this exceptional, right? তাদের আরো অনেক কিছু compulsions থাকে। বাচ্চাদের আমরা দেখি যে তারা মায়েদের কাজে যেতেই হচ্ছে, বাড়িতে কেউ দেখার নেই, বাড়িতে বাচ্চাদের বেঁধে রেখে দিয়ে যেতে হচ্ছে মাঠে কাজ করতে। So what I'm trying to say is that the community needs to be empowered to look after its children, to look after its senior citizens. That is also important. The Indian population is very rapidly aging, and we do not have enough capacities built to look after the geriatric care needs. এই জিনিসগুলো আছে। So আজকে it's a significant day for us in government, for us personally, because it's such a beautiful book it was an enjoyable read, and I wish Nivedita jigesh korchilam je how do you make this book available to others. She doesn't have a very strong marketing strategy, but I do hope that the book reaches out to as many people as possible. And I hope there are many more such books from Nivedita's pen as she goes along. She goes along holding Medha's hand and of course her son Rajat's hand. Thank you so much. God bless.
Thank you, ma'am. What you said actually hit the nail on the head. The book is just a peephole view of Medha's life. What lies in the side flanks is the umpteen notebooks filled with detailed and careful planning for even a little visit to the mall, where the planning had to start 2 days in advance. The fumbling in the dark 25 years ago, when there was no one to guide her as to what she should do, in fact as to what autism was all about even. Thank you so much, ma'am. It is very reassuring that there are leaders like you out there who will surely make a difference one day, and we hope that will make the country a safe and happy place for all. And maybe then we won't have to have these special days like we have today, days and months as the International Disability Day. Above and Beyond is an endeavor on Nivedita's part to share her struggles, hardships, as well as triumph, joy and immense gratitude while walking this road. She shares her story to empower other parents who are struggling with what is the way forward for their neurodivergent children. This is a book of faith for not only them, but every parent sitting in this audience and who reads this book. May I request Ms. Ghosh and Ms. Bhivaniwala to come up and release the book. Nivedita and Tilak.
You said Medha come?
Medha, come. On Nivedita's request, I shall now read out a few of our favorite excerpts from the book. Nivedita didn't want to leave Medha alone, otherwise she should have been reading this book. I start. She will never be normal like you and me, the psychologist told us. My reaction was immediate. How dare she say that? Medha is so young. She will grow up into a normal human being like all of us. I was in complete denial at that moment. In fact, I was determined to prove her wrong. There was a lot of anger in me. Her words echoed in my ears for days that turned into months, till reality hit and settled in my mind. But did I think for once that I would stop trying to reach her, teach her, so that she learned everything that other children did? Would I stop providing her the opportunities and platforms for learning various skills? Would I give up on trying to make her as normal as possible? No. My daughter's first annual day arrived. She She and her friends were dressed as clowns in bright yellow. They had to stand in a line and do some steps on stage. We stood proudly with our cameras ready with all the other parents, and we were thrilled to see our doll looking so cute, just like the others. No one would have known that she was different if she did not start marching around looking at the crowd, probably trying to find us. My heart sank. Maybe she forgot what to do. Maybe she did not realize that she had to perform. Her class teacher read my face and said with a smile, she was so settled and she looked so sweet. I went home, remembering only the encouraging and loving words from her teacher. Treatment for PCOD started for my 13-year-old girl with autism. She started complaining of headaches and began showing signs of anxiety and aggression. This was tough, especially because neither she nor us could figure out the cause of her discomfort and pain. Is this a side effect of medication, or is it because of mood swings due to adolescent issues? No one knew. Or was it a meltdown that may be a part of her condition? We then consulted our neurologist, who suggested an MRI to rule out any complication in the physiology of the brain. Getting her pricked for a blood test was very challenging, and the MRI process appeared very scary. She had to go inside that big machine that made loud noises, and she would have to stay absolutely still. We had to sedate her, which in itself was a difficult task. Before sedation, I explained to her that this was being done to cure her head pain. But her expression told me that she still wanted to understand why. The whole process drained me out. I always felt that a child learns better with exposure to new situations, people, and challenges. In school, she had already learned to sit in a group and watch programs in the assembly quietly. I started taking her to the movie theater. This had a few additional challenges. A lot of people in a new environment, darkness, loud audio. Additionally, the movie could sometimes be boring or difficult for her to follow. We had to do a lot of planning before going for a movie and be ready with strategies in case challenges came up during the movie. We selected corner streets, preferably near an exit. Short holidays, picnics, visiting relatives in different cities were huge learning opportunities for my daughter and refreshing for the rest of the family. These also helped the four of us to better understand each other's needs in different situations. She picked up and improved on life skills, waiting patiently in a queue, keeping calm during airport security checks, staying occupied during a journey. Using washrooms in different houses and hotels was challenging due to her sensory issues and unknown fears. Each day brought with it opportunities for each one of us to learn. Mama, is my sister a special needs child? What is the cure? I had this fear at the back of my mind. What will be my answer when my son asked me this question one day? I remember how I felt while answering him, but I do not remember what I said to assure him. I somehow felt confident that with time, he would gather knowledge and wisdom. He would grow up to be a sensible and sensitized brother. He began noticing his sister closely, trying to understand the areas which made her different or less than the rest of us. He had quite a few questions, which I knew would be taken care of with time. She graduated from school after 14 long years of learning and achieving, struggling and shining. I felt my heart swelling with pride and gratitude towards each and every educator who contributed to this journey. I must have questioned, nagged, complained and challenged them many times during all these years. But we also worked together, supported each other, understood our limitations and frustrations. And every time we raised the bar to help my daughter achieve more than we thought she could. Blessed to be the mother of a special child. What is different in our life because we have a special child? This was a question shared by someone, and hence I wondered too. It is a difficult journey every day. You have accepted that your life with your most precious one, your child, is associated with a lot of pain. You make mistakes, you fall, get up and start running again, for your child's sake and for your own. Like most women, I too dreamt of being a mother one day, having a baby of my own. I was a 26-year-old enthusiastic mother of a beautiful 3-year-old child. Then she was diagnosed with autism. It took me some time to accept that she wouldn't be like the rest of us and couldn't lead a normal life like the rest of us. It was very painful, but I guess the sooner you accept, the better you plan. Now I know it was way back then that I learned to accept a fact that was real. And I come back to the start of the book. The incoming call showed the number of Medha's workplace, where she's working in a school these days, as she mentioned. They generally do not call. What could this be about? I took more than my usual time to say hello. We wanted to let you know that we are pleased with Medha's work here in the library. She is sincere and conscientious, focused and very hardworking. I waited with bated breath for the but. We would like to pay her a stipend for her efforts. Hello Nivedita, are you there? Wait, did I hear that correctly? Was Medha going to be earning for her work just like others? I pinched myself and asked the HR lady to repeat what she said. After disconnecting the call, thoughts battled with each other to take top place in my mind. My child was a working, earning adult, just like any other normal person. I knew this day would come, so why was I crying? The years flashed before my eyes. The ups, the downs, the tantrums, the loneliness, the pain, the frustration, the trips we took together, the repeated discussions, the detailed plannings, all seemed worth it now. What a long journey it has been. But I found myself smiling and then laughing aloud. Would I trade it for anything else? No. That's from Nivedita's book. Just picked up some small pieces that both Nivedita and I liked. Thank you.
Thank you. Lots and lots of thank you. Straight from my heart for finding this time and gracing this occasion. And at some point or the other during this journey, I have reached out to you for some reason or the other, and I've always got a shabashi or a word of encouragement, always. I knew I can come back to any of you whenever I needed it. Okay, that assurance is something that I am blessed with, and thank you for that. Thank you Riklina and Oxford Bookstore for arranging this and curating this event so efficiently. It gives me the hope that through my book, if I can reach out to a small community or maybe a small part of the community and make a difference, even if it's a small difference, and it can be like passing the parcel, we can just sensitize, even if one of us can sensitize one person, I think our job is done. If we can make that much of difference. How? By accepting the difference, accepting the inability or different ability in another person, and sometimes forgiving that person for not being up to the mark. Thank you, Charmika ma'am. In such a short notice you have come. I'll reach out to you, and you are in this field, and you're also trying to touch lives. And what you had said really touched my chord, in the sense you said you are not alone. That feeling, that assurance that you are not alone in whatever situation it is. Like it can be somebody's going through some very difficult time, and if one of us can go and say you're not alone. Just not being mother of a special child, it can be another struggle somebody's going through. That assurance of giving a person, even if I can't help, just that assurance that you're not alone, you can reach out to me for any help that I can be of. That assurance is a big assurance in this life, in this world, in the present moment. So thank you for that. And I'm grateful to the audience here, for all of you, because you could have always said that we'll buy the book and all the best, but making the effort of coming, it's amazing. Thank you. Crystal Minds, are you here? Thank you so much, Moha and Sweta. You're doing a great job. Thank you for agreeing to come. Thank you so much. And actually saying thank you, I can keep on saying thank you, because I am very grateful, because I'm filled with gratitude for whatever you have done over the years, in whatever way. Nekha, where are you? Acha, Preeti. Preeti is the star of the event. She has been my friend when our children, her daughter and my daughter, got into the school, inclusive school, where she has studied in Delhi and Gurgaon. Since then, we've been friends. How? We have wiped each other's tears, we have lifted each other up. And at times, her daughter is much, much more high functioning. So I used to wonder, her daughter is helping my daughter in various ways. I used to wonder, how is my daughter helping your daughter? Because she is doing very well otherwise. She has her challenges, but nowhere near my daughter's challenges. She had only one answer: she is becoming sensitive. She is becoming a kind person. And this is not today. 28 years ago, she identified that goodness, and she made me feel so good that my daughter, who is less able child, is helping another person to be helpful, kind, and that is what you had recognized then. A big, big thank you. She's come all the way from Pune to hold my hand, to be with me. And Megha is here, enjoying her samosa. I can't stop her. But I really promise, Megha, to protect you, to fight for you, to be your voice, and to always love you. That's all for today. Please have a bite, grab your copy, and copy of the book is available with Leela at the counter. And please have a bite, have tea and coffee. Thank you.
Just now, after attending the entire event, my heart is really overflowing with gratitude for being invited here. I'm so grateful to you, and I don't know how to express my appreciation for mothers like you, parents like you. Children don't ever need to be fixed. It is only the parents who need to be fixed. But here, I think all of us should take inspiration from parents, and especially mothers like Nivedita, and give our unconditional love without any judgment, without labeling them, just like she has done. And she's actually taken out and is still in the process of taking out the best in the child, and each child has actually got unlimited potential. It is our acknowledgement, appreciation of children which brings out either the best out of them, or our judgment, criticism, blame the worst out of them. The choice is always ours. Thank you so much.